We are now live. Instagram was good. Hope everybody's had a great Sunday and a fantastic weekend. Facebook, we are now live. Hope everybody's had a great weekend. We are, oops, press the button here by accident. All right, so we are ready to get into it on Instagram, and we ready to get into it on Facebook. As y'all come in, tell me your name and location, and let's get to it. Nan Sensu was good. As y'all come in, make sure, if you have not already taken note of the free book called The Mirror of Motivation, I'm posting the link to that right now, so you make sure you go claim your copy while they are still available, because they could become unavailable at any given time. So as y'all come in, tell me your names and locations. Make sure I got my comment right here. Larry checking in from Mississippi was good. As y'all come in, name and location. Elliot checking in from Alaska. Shout out to everybody in Alaska. Everybody on Facebook, as y'all come in, tell me your names and locations. Today we are doing part 2 of 2. We're going over the 17 principles of personal achievement. As y'all come in, name and location, let's get to it. Chris from Vancouver, Washington. Shout out to Vancouver, Washington. Shout out to Vancouver, Canada. Shout out to all the other Vancouvers out there. Everybody who's coming in, if you are on Facebook, I don't know if anybody came on Facebook yet, name and location. Instagram, name and location. Tanya, what's going on? Tanya from Sydney, Australia. As y'all come in, tell me names and locations. As y'all can see already, we worldwide, and the room ain't even filled up yet. We already international. My name is Dre Baldwin, checking in from the beautiful campus of Work on Your Game University. This is the only school that's still in session every day now. Actually, I talked to a friend of mine in where's she at? Sweden. She said they still have elementary schools out there. So their schools in Sweden and Work on Your Game University, only 2 places schools still taking place. Anybody else who's coming in, tell me names and locations. I'm gonna give everybody like 30 seconds, then we're gonna get right into the proceedings this evening. We're not gonna take too much time, because to be early is to be on time is to be late, and to be late, that's to be forgotten. So anybody that's forgotten is forgotten. We ain't gonna take too much time. Derek D checking in from Philly. My dad is coming to the live stream. As y'all, anybody who's coming in Facebook or Instagram, tell me your names and location. We're gonna get started in about 30 seconds. Damn, it's hot in here. About 30 seconds, we're gonna get started. That pinned comment that you see right here is this book, The Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guided, Self-Discipline. You get this book free. All you gotta do is go to that link and tell me where to ship it. We'll send it to you. Tanya said, I really appreciate the consistent content, keeping us motivated to work from home. Absolutely. Well, that's what I do. I was doing this, and Tanya, you know, I was doing this before the coronavirus. Okay, now I know there's a lot of people coming in the game right now since the corona popped off. There's a lot of people coming into this live streaming game, coming into this personal development, personal growth game since the corona hit. Is a wave right now, but listen, I'm not a wave, I'm the ocean. All right, so Bilal checking in from Toronto. What's good? Yeah, Quarantine Radio. That's a good one right there. You should go get that domain name, Quarantine Radio. The Lickle Monk. We'll just call you Bilal from Toronto. That's a better way of explaining it. Now, those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. Hometown, well, town of origin is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I live in Miami, Florida. That's where the beautiful campus of Work on Your Game University is located, as you can see back there, where we grow palm trees on the roof. You see those palm trees on the roof? You ever seen a palm tree go out of concrete? You can if you come to Miami. So that's what we do here. And this whole philosophy of Work on Your Game is about taking a pro athlete mindset, what you need to be successful in sports at the highest level, and teaching how you apply that same mentality to your business and to your life. That's what this is about. You do not have to be an athlete to learn from me. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to write books. You don't have to do anything that I do, but you can take the mentality that I learned through teaching this whole Work on Your Game philosophy, and you can apply it to what you do. As you've seen, people already say here in these comments, and I'll give you an example right here. This book right here, Work on Your Game, you see with the subtitle, use the pro athlete mindset in your business, sport, and life. So you can get the whole framework right here and use it for whatever purposes you want to use it for. If you happen to be a ball player, you can use this book, and I'll tell you about this later. Now, what we're going to get into here is and yes, stay away from that Rony Rome. Andy 91282 was good. What we're going to talk about here is the second of 2. I did a live stream, last night, where I talked about the first 9 principles of personal achievement. Today, I'm talking about principles number 10 through 17 of personal achievement in life. These, I got to give credit to Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich and author of one of my favorite books, The Law of Success, for listing these out in his book And I actually went and did a whole podcast on this, 2-part series on my podcast on this in 2000, and I believe it was 2016, maybe 2017 that I did that. But I'm going over here on this live because I think this is something that people need in their lives right now. Personal achievement. Everybody wants to achieve. If you're following somebody who talks about work on your game, then I'm going to assume that you're into personal achievement, you're into personal growth, you're trying to make yourself better, get yourself to a higher level. Facebook, I don't know why the screen is so damn dark, but y'all can still hear me. All right, so anyway, so let's get into it. Principle number 10 of personal achievement. I did 1 through 9 yesterday, so if you missed that, wait till I put it on YouTube because you probably can't watch the replay anymore. Number 10, accurate thinking. Accurate thinking. The power of thought is the most dangerous or the most beneficial power available to man depending on how it is used. What does accurate thinking mean? Accurate thinking means you're basing your thoughts and your opinions, and which eventually turns into your words and beliefs. You're basing that on accurate information. Make sure you have the right information. Do not trust anyone's information but your own. These days on the internet, anybody could come on, like I'm on right now, and say whatever they want. They can put out any information they want. It doesn't have to be accurate, doesn't have to be useful, doesn't even have to be news. They call it news, but it's not actual news. All of you should probably know by now. If you didn't know, I'll tell you that the news, CNN, MSNBC, whatever websites you get your news from, your Facebook news feed, is not actual news. All right, the news used to be, they just informed you factually of what was going on. Nowadays, the news is not doing that. The purpose of the news nowadays is to get clicks and views and ad revenue. So anything that they need to say in their headline or any misinformation that they got to put out in their storyline to get you to click or to get you to watch or to get you to subscribe, to get you to share or like or read, that's what they do. The news is not driven by giving you facts anymore. It used to be driven by giving you facts because they had commercials that would pay whatever that would subsidize them, that the commercials just came on while people were watching the news. But now, because there's so much competition and people don't need to watch the news, now the news has had to jump into the same pool that the YouTubers and the Instagrammers and the gossip bloggers are in, which is sensationalized stuff to try to get people to click on it. It does not have to be factual. So I'm telling you that to let you know, when it comes to accurate thinking, you got to make sure you're getting accurate information from sources that are not monetarily incentivized just to get you to click on things. And there are a lot of people who are monetarily incentivized just to get clicks, not to give actual information. So be very careful where you're getting your information from. It used to be you can turn to the news. That's not the case anymore. I mean, we've seen that over the last 4 years. Every news media company has an agenda. They pick the side, and it's not supposed to be like that. News is supposed to be objective. That's out the window. So make sure you're getting accurate information so that you're thinking accurately, and then when you go and speak, you're speaking accurately. Point number 10, principle number 10, controlled attention. In other words, focus. I told you the 5 forms of investment, and this is masterclass number 609 of the Work on Your Game audio masterclass. 5 forms of investment: time, money, attention, energy, focus. The difference between attention and focus. Attention is what direction you're looking in. Focus is what you are noticing in the direction you're looking. Any of you ever been, when you were in school, you ever been looking at the teacher and the teacher is talking? So it looked like you were paying attention, but you weren't actually listening to the teacher. So the teacher talked for like 10 minutes and you couldn't say back not one thing the teacher said to you because you were giving them your attention, but you were not focused. So there's a difference between attention and focus. You could be listening to somebody talk and looking right at them, but not remembering anything that they're saying because you're not focused. Controlled attention is your ability to focus on what you're paying attention to. This leads to mastery in anything that you do. You want to master a subject, not only do you have to pay attention to that subject, but you got to have controlled attention. Meaning, all right, I'm going to sit down for 3 hours a day and I'm going to go through this book, or I'm going to study this guide, or I'm going to go through this tutorial that this person made, or I'm going to watch these 10 YouTube videos where this person is explaining how you do this thing and how you do that thing. Controlled attention enables you to focus the power of your mind on the attainment of a definite objective and to keep directed towards that objective. Yesterday when I did principles 1 through 10, the first principle of personal achievement in life, ladies and gentlemen, is definiteness of purpose. What do you want? Where are you going? Why are you doing it? Who are you? What's your point of getting out of bed every single day? When you have a definiteness of purpose, controlled attention usually comes with it as a package deal. But that doesn't mean that you don't need to be thinking about it and you don't need to control that controlled attention. You still got to decide where you're going to focus. Because listen, you can focus on scrolling through your Instagram Explore tab. You can focus on watching a bunch of bullshit on YouTube. You can focus on arguing with people in the Facebook comment section. So controlled attention means not only are you focusing in an area, but you're focusing in an area that's actually going to help you get to the outcome that you want to get to in your life. That's why you need that definiteness of purpose. Principle number 12, teamwork. You cannot do it all on your own. It's the bottom line of it. You cannot achieve at a high level doing everything by yourself because, number one, you're either going to run out of time because you're trying to do everything by yourself. There's only so much one person can do. We have the limitation of only being in one place at a time. Most of us have 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth. There's only so much one person can do no matter how talented you are. And the other thing is you're going to run out of talent. Nobody is multi-talented in everything in life. Like everything that you need in order to become, let's say if you wanted to build a tall building, like you see this building behind me, if you want to build that building, there's nobody who's talented enough to do every single job necessary. There's an architect who designs it. There's a developer who has to put together the plan. There are the construction workers who lay down all the brick and mortar. There are the designers who design what exactly everything's going to look, the look of the building. There are the people who put all the stuff in the building. You see those trees on the roof. There are people who do that. There's the pool person who puts the pool in the building. There's people who put the gym equipment in there, the people who put the furniture, the finishings, the refrigerators, the microwaves, the dishwasher, who install the air control, whatever it's going to be, who put the flooring down. There's different people who have to do all those things. There's no person who's skilled in every single one of those areas. So to do something like that, you need a whole bunch of people all working in a spirit of harmony. I talked about mastermind in the first set of principles in yesterday's live stream. Teamwork means harmonious cooperation that is willing and voluntary. You want to work with other people, and you're not forced to do it, but you continue to do it anyway. That's what teamwork means. Any of you who has ever played sports, especially a team sport, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, you need teamwork in order to be successful. No great team can be great if people are not working in a spirit of harmony and they're not working together voluntarily. Every great team, every great sports team that has been successful, every great military operation that's been successful, every great business that is successful, do it through teamwork. People got to be willing to sacrifice for the better of the group. It's a big thing when it comes to teams, especially in our culture, Western culture, where we emphasize the superstar, we emphasize the individual, right? But it's the team that actually wins championships. It's not one individual that wins, it's the team that wins. As the cliche always went with somebody like Michael Jordan, like, yeah, Michael Jordan won these championships, but until he had a solid team around him and everybody on the team was carrying their weight and he was supporting those guys the same way they supported him, that's when he started winning. And without that solid team in place, you could be a great individual, but you're not going to get that win. So there's a lot of people who've been great individually, but because the teamwork wasn't right, maybe not the right combination of people on the team, they were not able to reach a certain level of success. Principle number 13, adversity and defeat. This is a principle of success. One of the principles of personal achievement in life is adversity and defeat. Now, how is that possible? Why would you want... You might be thinking to yourself, Dre, we're talking about principles of achievement. What does adversity and defeat have to do with achieving in life? Well, let me tell you what it has to do with it. First of all, if you're an ambitious person, you got high aims, you got places that you want to go in life, I guarantee you, I only have to know you, I guarantee you, you will not always be successful. You will not win every game that you play in. Every idea that you have is not going to pop off and just work. Every time you invest some money into something, it does not mean you're going to get a guaranteed return on investment. There will be some things that you try that just don't work. There'll be some places that you go that turn out to be the wrong place to be. There are going to be some ideas that you had that turn out to be terrible, bad ideas. There are going to be some times where you invest a whole lot of your time into something and it ends up being a complete waste. Not because you're dumb, not because somebody gave you bad information, it's because you just didn't know what you didn't know. You have to go through these things to grow and to learn in life. You will go through adversity. You will face defeat. If you're an athlete, you will be defeated. There will be games that you lose. There will be matches that you come up short in. There will be times when somebody's in a position to choose between you and somebody else, and they're going to choose somebody else, even though you think you might have been the better one. I hear this from athletes all the time in team sports. Well, I thought I was the best player at tryouts, and I didn't make the team. Well, that's just a defeat. It's just adversity. Adversity is an adverse situation. It means something other than what you actually wanted, you're going to have to go through. And the reason why adversity and defeat are listed in the principles of personal achievement is because everyone is guaranteed to go through these if you are a forward-thinking, forward-moving, progress-focused individual. The challenge is, how do you handle the defeat and adversity? If you're going to become a successful individual, You're going to deal with it. The question is, how do you handle it? If you're able to handle it with aplomb, meaning going through a situation with a steadiness and a calmness of temper, a calmness of your emotions, handling that situation and being all the better for it, then that adversity and defeat will actually make you stronger, make you more mentally tough, and increase your fortitude for any future challenges that you face. Now, if you allow adversity and defeat to beat you down, or to get you emotional, or to make you quit, or to get you so frustrated that you waste a whole lot of time just mired in your own sorrow and bitching about the fact that you face a defeat or that you face adversity, then you probably won't go far in life, because the time that it takes you to get over that adversity and defeat, that time that you're wasting, the other people who are competing against you, they're moving on. They're learning from it, getting stronger from it, and going on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And by the time you finally wake up and start doing what you're supposed to be doing, the competition has already passed you by. So this is the reason why going through adversity and defeat is a principle of achievement. So it's not whether or not you go through it, it's a matter of how long do you allow it to slow you down. Because see, some people in life, they go through adversity and defeat and they say, you know what, I didn't want this to happen. I'm pissed off that it happened. I'm mad that it happened. I'm upset that it happened. I'm disappointed that it happened. You might even be embarrassed that it happened if it's a public defeat that you had. But if the question is not, did you feel those emotions? Because we're human, you're going to feel some emotions, some people more than others. The question is, do you allow that to slow you down for 30 minutes? Or do you allow it to slow you down for 30 days? Or do you allow it to slow you down for 10 years? Or do you allow it to just stop you from doing anything for the rest of your life? Has any of you ever been through or known anyone who went through some type of adversity or defeat in life, and they allowed that one adversity or defeat to stop them? It's 3 years later, they're still talking about it. It's 10 years later, they're still allowing that one thing that got in their way to stop them from moving forward for the rest of their lives. It was 10 years ago something happened. They're still using that as an excuse to do nothing with their lives. They're still using that as the reason why they haven't moved forward. They're still blaming their parents for something, and they're 37 years old. They're still blaming their coach from high school, and they're 26, and they're not playing ball anymore. But they're blaming their high school coach for holding them back. Or they're blaming somebody, some business partner who snaked them out of some money 9 years ago, and they haven't started another business yet, but they're still blaming that old business partner. Have any of you known anybody who's done that? They allow some old situation, that an old is relative, to continue to hold them back because they weren't able to get over the adversity, or even if you want to call that taking a loss, you want to call that a defeat. You need to go through these things. You need to be a quote-unquote failure for a short period of time, at least in the eyes of some people, maybe even in yourself. But the question about when you go through failure, is it going to be a temporary failure, or is it going to be a permanent failure? And all of you know the cliche, you only lose when you quit. If you stop trying and you give up and you stop putting the effort forward, then you become a loser, because you lost, and that's all last thing you did was lose. But if you lose and you keep going, then that loss just becomes part of your story, and it makes you look better moving forward, because then you can tell people that story. Look at all these losses that I went through. Look at all these failures that I went through, but I still got here. I still got to this level of success. I wrote about that in this book right here, Work on Your Game. So if you haven't read that book, you can read this. There are plenty of times where I went through adversity and what many people would have saw as defeat, but all I did was continue to go. I just kept working, kept moving, kept trying, kept working on my game, eventually created a level of success to where somebody could look at me and say, man, what you've achieved is impressive. How'd you do it? Then I go write a book and tell you about it. Then I put out a book for free and tell you how you get started with the Mirror Motivation. So adversity and defeat is a principle of achievement. If you didn't know, I just explained to you why. Your adversity can be a blessing in disguise. Principle number 14. For those of you who came in the middle of this, we are talking about the principles of achievement in life. I'm on number 14. There's 17 of them total. Number 14, creative vision. What is creative vision? It is developed by the free and fearless use of one's imagination. It is not a miraculous quality with which one is gifted, and it is not gifted at birth. What does that mean? This is good news for everybody. Anybody who's watching this who feels like you are not a creative individual, let me tell you something. Creativity is not something that you're born with. Creativity is not a talent. It can be for some people, but you can be creative without being born with creativity. You don't have to be born as Leonardo da Vinci or Steve Jobs or who's somebody else, Elon Musk or Kobe Bryant or somebody who just has, or Drake. You don't have to be born with just amazing talent that makes you so creative that you just come up with things in your sleep. You can choose to become a creative individual by, and the words paraphrase Napoleon Hill, free and fearless use of your imagination. Everybody in the world has imagination. Everybody who's watching this, you have imagination. All right. If you ever been worried, that is imagination in advance. You're just imagination about something negative. If you ever had the feeling of anticipation, like happy anticipation, or anxiety, being anxious, a positive anxious or a negative anxious, that's imagination. You're imagining something that didn't happen yet, and we call it worry when it's something negative, and we call it anticipation or excitement when it's something positive, right? But it's the exact same energy. It's imagination. Everyone has use of imagination. It's just a matter of how you are using it. When you use your imagination, as Napoleon said, freely and fearlessly, then you can become a creative individual. Creativity is just seeing something in your mind before it exists, and then drawing a bridge from where you are right now to that thing that you saw in your mind before anybody knew what it was. Steve Jobs, at one point, he had an idea for something like this phone, what we call now a smartphone. He saw this in his head before anybody saw it, and then all he did was draw a bridge from where he was back when we were using the little flip phones and the phones with the green screens and beepers and landline phones, and that's all we had. He drew a bridge from there to the phones that we have now, to where we could do these live streams and I can talk to y'all live through a phone. A time when there used to be a time when, not even 20 years ago, when this didn't even make sense. All he did was draw that bridge, and he used teamwork to get it done. Steve Jobs does not know how to design a phone. All right, Steve Jobs is not alive anymore, but if he was, he could not build an iPhone with his hands. He didn't have that skill. His skill was the creative vision, and then he was able to use teamwork and also the mastermind partnerships, the mastermind principle, to put everybody together who could do it, and then they were able to create the phone. He did not do it all on his own. So you see how many of these principles work together to create certain outcomes. So everybody here has the skill or the potential, let's say, to be a creative individual. All you need to do is give yourself permission. Key word here, permission. It is not that you need to come up with some new talent. Give yourself permission to use your imagination in different ways. You already use imagination. Are any of you ever worried about anything? That's imagination. Just use it in a different way. Repurpose that energy, and you can become a creative individual. Principle number 15, health. We are talking, for those of you who came in the middle of this, we're talking the 17 principles of personal achievement. 15th principle is health. It's a perfect time to be talking about this. Is a worldwide, or many countries, pandemic going on right now with the COVID-19 or coronavirus sickness that's going on, for lack of a better term. Health is wealth, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Jobs, he passed away because his health began to fail him. The guy who played Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, he was only 51 years old, passed away because his health began to fail him. There are plenty of people out there who they may have had wealth, but they didn't have health. They didn't take care of their health. And wealth does not buy health, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how much money you have, your body starts to fail you. You're not going to be able to do anything with that money because you won't be able to get out of bed, or you can't go anywhere. You can't travel. You can't get on a plane. You can't run up and down the stairs. You can't play with your kids. You can't exercise. A whole lot of things can slow you down when your body is not taken care of. You only get one of these. All right, you can get a new husband or wife. All right, you can get new friends. You can start a new business. You can get a new job. You can get a new car. You can get a new house. You can get new clothes. You get new food every single day. You do not get a new body. If your body begins to fail you, then the game might be pretty much over for you. So make sure you're putting as much emphasis on taking care of your health as you do taking care of your wealth or your business or how many followers you have or building your brand. Because these days, especially in the entrepreneurial world, and I can speak to this being an entrepreneur, a lot of people they're going to tell you about what they're doing business-wise because that's what they use to get you to come in and buy whatever they're selling or follow them or believe in them or see them as a certain level individual, and that's all good. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's part of the game. But at the same time, if your body fails you, then you can't even deliver what you sold to those people. You can't even give them what they expected to get from you because your body's falling apart. You can't even get on the stage and give a speech. You can't get out of bed in the morning. How are you going to get on a live stream? You can't get out your bed. You can't even pick up your phone. You can't even take a shower. You can't go to the bathroom by yourself. If you don't want any of those things to happen to you, make sure you're taking care of your health by doing a couple simple things. Number one, pay attention to what you put in your body. Number two, pay attention to what thoughts you allow to go through your mind. You just do those two things and actually move your body. Three things. Pay attention to what you put in your body. Pay attention to the way you think. And actually move around. I know right now you might be stuck in the house or scared to go outside because of the coronavirus situation. Find a way to move around. Go up and down the steps. All right? Run around the circle in your living room. Do something to get exercise. Do some yoga or at-home workouts off of YouTube videos, whatever you got to do. Sign up for somebody's app, whatever. Take care of your physical health. If your body fails, it does not matter how much money you have. Wealth does not buy health. Principle number 16, budgeting time and money. This is a very important one here. I'm surprised Napoleon put this at number 16, but I understand it. Time and money are precious resources, and few people striving for success ever believe they possess either one in excess. Time and money. You run out of time, the game's over, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody knows that, right? You run out of money, you can get more. You run out of time, the game's over. When your time is up, you're done. All right, no more live streaming, no more Instagramming, no more Facebook, no more emails, no more texts, no more nothing when your time is up. Time is the most valuable resource you have. Budget your time, meaning pay attention to how you are utilizing your time. Do not waste your time. Do not allow anyone else to waste or steal your time. If you had money in your hand, you're walking down the street with some money in your hand, you wouldn't let anybody just walk up and take your money and just walk the other direction, right? And you wouldn't do nothing. That wouldn't make any sense, right? But since you will protect your money so staunchly, if you had your phone in your hand, you wouldn't let somebody just take your phone and just walk away with it, right? Because it's a very valuable device to you. But at the same time that everyone says, no way would I let anybody take my money, I wouldn't let anybody take my phone, but you allow people to steal your time and waste your time and use your time frivolously every single day, and you don't do anything. You're not defensive about your time, but you're defensive about your phone. You're defensive about $20. You're defensive about the logins to your email account. You're defensive about some bullshit that ain't even worth any money. But you are not defensive about your time, which is more valuable than all of that. Because if you had unlimited time, you can make enough money to buy 100 phones. You can make enough money to buy all the food that you could possibly eat. But you're not valuing your time at the same level. Time is the most valuable thing. Time, you hear people say time is money. Time is not money, ladies and gentlemen. Time is life. And life is more valuable than money. Because as I just said in Principle on Health, when your life is on the line because something's wrong with your health, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't buy more time. You can't buy time. But what you can do is utilize your time to make as much money as you want to make, or have friends, or use your phone, or do whatever it is that you want to do. So make sure you are paying close attention to what you do with your time as you pay close attention to what you do with your money. A lot of people watch their money real close, but they don't watch their time. And I'll put this book out and say pay a small shipping charge to get this book. Somebody says, well, why I gotta pay a small shipping charge? But then you'll spend 20 minutes on TikTok looking at bullshit. So are you hustling backwards or are you hustling forwards? I'm gonna let you think on that as we move on to principle number 17. The 17 principles of personal achievement. This is the last one. Habits. Habits. What is a habit? Developing and establishing positive habits leads to peace of mind, health, and financial security. You are where you are. Key sentence here. Because of your established habits and thoughts and deeds. Let me say that one again. Your life right now, you as a person right now, look around wherever you are. If you're outside, look around. You got people around you, look at those people. You in your house, look around at your house. You in your car, look at your car. You got clothes on, look at the clothes you got on. Look at everything you have going on in your life right now. It is a direct reflection of the habits that you have had up until this point in your life. Your life is a direct reflection of your habits. So if you don't like any part of your life, if you don't like the people who are around you, you don't like the car you're driving in, you don't like the food you ate today, you don't like the situation of your life, you don't like the job that you have right now, you don't like the way your business is going, you don't like the way your boyfriend or girlfriend looks at you, you don't like the relationship you got with your family members, all you need to do is look at the habits that have led to that situation and make a decision to change those habits. It goes right back to the first principle, definiteness of purpose. Every one of us is a direct reflection of our habits. So if you want to change your life, all you need to do right now, this is what you do right now, change your habits. I did a whole section in this book right here about habits. Every single day, you need to be looking at your habits and asking yourself, should this habit keep its job, or should I fire this habit from its job and pick up somebody else? It's the same way if you ran a company. Every day you're looking at your employees saying, all right, should this individual keep working here? Should I keep paying them, or should I fire them and replace them with somebody else? You need to look at your habits the exact same way, because your life is a reflection of your habits. So anything in your life you want to change, what are the habits that led to this result? That's the question you ask yourself. Maybe there are no habits. Maybe you've been neglecting it, which is why nothing's happened over there. Maybe you don't have any money right now because you ain't been paying attention to your money. Maybe you have no time because you're not paying attention to your time. Maybe you have no friends because you're not investing in your friends. Maybe you don't you're not in good physical shape because you haven't been paying attention to your body. So whatever habits you have or don't have, they are reflected in the life that you're living. You want to change your life, change your habits. I guarantee that's going to work. Now let me review these. I'm going to review all 17. So I did the second half today. I did the first half yesterday for those of y'all who missed it. If anybody has a question, you can go ahead and post it right now. I'm going to review the 17 principles right now Then I'm going to take questions on Facebook and on Instagram, whoever got a question. So 17 principles of personal achievement is what I've been talking about here. Here we go. Number 1 to 17. Number 1, definiteness of purpose. Number 2, mastermind alliance. Number 3, applied faith. Number 4, going the extra mile. Number 5, pleasing personality. Number 6, personal initiative. Number 7, positive mental attitude. Number 8, enthusiasm. Number 9, self-discipline. Number 10, accurate thinking. Number 11, controlled attention. Number 12, teamwork. Number 13, adversity and defeat. Number 14, creative vision. Number 15, health. Number 16, budgeting time and money. Number 17, habits. Whoever got a question, go ahead and post a question. For those of y'all who do not know me, you came in the middle of this, you stumbled into this stream randomly. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. I'm the creator of this whole philosophy called Work on Your Game. It's about taking a pro athlete mindset and applying that mindset to your business, to your life, to your relationships, to every single thing that you do inside and outside of sports. You don't have to play sports to use this mentality. And there are plenty of people in here who know that. And you don't have to, I played basketball. You can play a different sport. You could be in business. You have never played sport in your life and use the work on your game mindset. I wrote a whole book about it. The whole framework is laid out in this book right here. You can get this at workonyourgamebook.com because I give you some bonuses that you can't get anywhere else. If you want to get it on Amazon, you can, but you don't get the bonuses on Amazon. And this book right here, you can get for free. All right, so if you want something that you can get for free just to test me out, you're not quite sure if I'm any good yet, I didn't prove it to you in the last 30 minutes. You want to test it out, test the waters, get this book free. Go to mirrormotivation.com. It's the pinned comment right here on IG. It's also on Facebook. Mirrormotivation.com, the self-guide to self-discipline. You want to learn how to discipline yourself so you can start doing what you really need to do in your life, so you can be who you really want to be and have what you really want to have, and you can avoid living a life that you hate. Avoid looking at yourself every day and wondering what the hell you're doing or who the hell you are. Get this book right here, and this book will help you do that. The Mirror of Motivation. I'll give it to you free. All you got to do is pay a small shipping charge. Go to mirrormotivation.com. Tell me where to send it. We do ship this book worldwide. If you happen to be a pro basketball player or you want to be one, go to Overseas Basketball. Get the Overseas Basketball Blueprint by going to balloverseas.com. Balloverseas.com. This is the book to teach you how to play ball overseas. All right, this is not me telling my story. This is me telling you how to create your story so you can go play ball overseas. You can live the dream, do what 99.9% of people never do, which is play professional sports, travel the world, get stamps in your passport, all because of your ability to play basketball. I can't give you a better sales pitch than that. That's balloverseas.com. Now, whoever got a question, go ahead and post it. I'm going to scroll through here and see what we got going on in the comment section. Hope everybody's had a great week and a great weekend, washing your hands and all that. Let's see what we got going on here in the comments. I appreciate everybody who's been paying attention, listening, even if you don't leave a comment. Coffee the Great says, how's only 7 people or whatever number of people is watching this guy's changing people's lives? Well, listen, we change lives one at a time, Coffee the Great. So if it was one person watching, I would give the exact same performance. There's 1 million people, I'm going to give the exact same performance. Consistency. Han Hoops says, you're waiting for your bulletproof mindset package. It's coming. Don't worry. If you order something from me, it's 100% guaranteed you will receive it. All right. I've been in business for over 10 years. I've never, ever has somebody ordered something from me and not gotten it. All right. You will absolutely get your bulletproof bundle, I think is what you're talking about. You're talking about the books, I'm assuming. Because the course, you get immediate access. Bulletproof Mindset is the course. Bulletproof bundle is the books. But you might as well get Bulletproof Mindset too. Adepo Jumo says, appreciate the hard work. I appreciate you. Andy 912, what up? AZ B-ball training, what's good? In Miami, they say, don't stop, get it, get it. It's a fact. Shout out to Uncle Luke. You recruit you, what's good? Appreciate you. What's an indigo human? Han Hoops, I don't know what that means. Joe Garrett Parker says, the live stream will be saying you missed the beginning. Yeah, I'm going to put this on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. Tanya says, no TikTok procrastinators. Well, listen, you can get on TikTok. Nothing wrong with being on TikTok. I get on there maybe once every other day. I get on there and go and just scroll through and laugh at stuff for like 10 minutes. I do that as well. But before I do that, I'm doing my motherfucking work. I do that at the end of it. I do that when the work is done, not before the work, and not while the work is supposed to be happening. Shout out to all the TikTokers too. And shout out to anybody who does TikTok as a business. That's a business now. So let me see if I can pull that. Principle 11 is controlled attention. And these principles, y'all can look these up at workonyourgameu.com. I did a 2-part masterclass on this where I talked about this in even more depth. So if you like how I talked about this today, you should hear when I did it on the podcast where I actually fleshed out explanations of all these that was deeper than what you just heard me do. What I'm doing, most of the time when I'm doing this on a live stream, y'all, I'm just going off the top. I write a note down so I know what I'm talking about, and then I just go off the top. But if you want to hear, if you think this is good, imagine what I do when I get a chance to plan out what I'm going to say. Hey, I'm just saying. 25 Basketball 17 says, what do you think the difference is between cocky and confident? I got a video on YouTube where I answer that actual question specifically. So if you go on YouTube and type in my name and type in cocky and confident and watch that video. I think it's about 25 minute video where I explained in detail the difference between confidence and cockiness and why you could actually raise your level of confidence to the point that somebody thinks you're cocky, but I explain why it's actually a good thing for you. So go watch that video if you want that answer, because I answered that question. That's probably when I make that video. I made that video probably 4 years ago, but it still applies perfectly today, and it will apply 4 years from now. So everybody, I'm gonna give y'all just one thing to remember, because I know I showed y'all several books. The Mirror Motivation, Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. This is the free book. This is your sample. I already gave you a sample. I just gave you a 35-minute sample right here today, but I'm giving you another sample. This is a tangible sample. All right, this is not a PDF. This is a physical book that I will ship to you worldwide. Doesn't matter where you live. MirrorMotivation.com. That's where you get this book. Mirror Motivation, is Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. If you like what you heard today, let me explain to you something. I do this every single day, audio, on the podcasting app. It is called Work on Your Game, if you couldn't guess. I give you some of the masterclass every single day for free on the podcast app, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, all that. Y'all know where to find them. If you want the full version of each one and you want all 1,400, yes, you heard me correctly. I did not misspeak. I have done this 1,400 days in a row, plus 1,400 days in a row. You can get that at workonyourgameu.com. Work on Your Game University. That is called the Game Group Membership. I might as well just get that website, gamegroupmembership.com. I'm going to get that pretty soon if it's available. You get all of these. Every masterclass I've ever done from 2016 to now. It has been almost 5 years on the dot. Consecutively, I've been doing this masterclass every single day. Again, this right here is off the top. The live streams I just do off the top. Masterclass, I plan it out. I give you points, I give you stories, I give you examples, I give you direct real-life applications, what to do with this information. I give you all of that at workonyourgameuniversity.com. There's a whole bunch of other stuff you get in the Game Group membership that's, you just consider those bonuses. Just this alone, every single day, is worth the price of admission, in my opinion. But you can tell me if I'm wrong. Trainer TG says you're getting the $27 a month. That's the membership. That's what I'm talking about right now. That's called the Game Group membership. The first 2 weeks is free. First 2 weeks in the Game Group membership completely free. That's another thing, I should have said that. You get the first 2 weeks free. 14 days, you can take all the classes you want, sample everything that's in there completely for free. If you want to keep it, you can keep it, and you can pay for the membership. If you don't want to keep it, it's all good. You can follow me on these live streams or whatever else, YouTube, whatever else that I put out. But I got you covered no matter what it is. As Tanya says right there in the comments, y'all see it, 1,000% worth it. She didn't say 100%. She said 1,000% worth it. So that's what you get at workonyourgameu.com, everybody. That's the university. That's Work on Your Game U. That is the Game Group membership. All right, I've answered every question. I hope everybody has a great Sunday. Let's have a great week moving forward. I know life is not normal for a whole lot of people right now, but stay focused. Figure out what you could do with this time. Take advantage of this opportunity. In every situation in life, there is an opportunity. Right now, you might be going through adversity, like I talked about here in the stream. Use this adversity to make yourself stronger, make yourself better, work on your game, and get to a higher level. All right, it's available for everybody. Question is, will you take advantage of it? Work on your game. Everybody have a great Sunday. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We out of here.